Hello, lovely. How are you? I'm good, thanks. Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Nicola. I'll be carrying out your skin assessment today. Do you have anything on your face? Perfect. I'm going to start by just observing your face and taking some notes. Alright, good. Okay, could you just smile for me, my lovely? Okay, and could you frown? Raise your brows. Okay, you can relax. So what have you done with your skin today? Okay. And what do you use? Okay, so you do use a good range, and that's quite a nice routine, but I'm not sure it's suiting your skin. Now, does your skin normally look this oily? Is it most of the time? I know we are afternoon now, which we tend to get more oily as the day goes on, but if you are always like this, then it's clear to me that you do have classic oily skin. Alright, yeah, that's right, so your sebaceous glands are overreactive. Okay, yeah, you poor thing, it's quite hard to deal with, isn't it? Yeah. And then you've got people at the moment wanting glass skin, and then, you know, there's people actually do have an oily shine, and then you're trying everything to get rid of it. Have you been trying like harsh products on your skin at all, or anything to kind of help? Okay. Well, ideally, we want to try and balance the skin and help your skin barrier. and soothe those overactive glands. Alright, we don't want to strip the skin or anything like that, and those kind of products are stripping your skin, and then it makes your oil glands actually produce more oil to protect itself. Exactly, so you end up in a big huge circle. Alright, my lovely, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So that is my basic observations done. I'm now going to carry out my further checks. Alright, my lovely. Okay. And don't worry, okay? We'll get this sorted for you, I promise. Okay, you're in safe hands. So, I'm just going to sanitize my hands first. Okay, am I alright if I touch your face? Okay. So, okay, yes, it's very, very slippery. Yeah. I can feel that. It's a lot, isn't it? It's common to get an oily T-zone. But yours isn't combination skin, this is full oily skin. So that means you get it all over rather than just your T-zone. Alright, looking at you though, I mean, you don't appear to have really any breakouts or acne, which is really good. Okay. Yeah. They are really overreactive, aren't they? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Do you get breakouts at all? Alright. It's good that you don't really have any breakouts. I mean, I can see the odd one, but nothing too much, which is good. And sometimes when we have oily skin, you know, we are prone to breakouts, blackheads, and obviously acne. So, you know, you haven't got acne, that's great. So that's good. Alright, now I'm going to pop some gloves on and do more checks, if that's okay. Alright. How long have you been struggling with this, my love? Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Really does knock your confidence, doesn't it? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is analyse each section of your face. Okay. And I'm going to be assessing the area and seeing what's going on there. And then obviously paying attention to the oil. Alright. So I'm going to start with your chin. So the texture of your chin is oily. You don't have any enlarged pores or blackheads, which is amazing. You don't have any active breakouts, but what you do have are under the surface blemishes which haven't yet come to the surface. They may do, they may not. Alright, so when you've been touching your chin, you may have noticed some lumps and bumps underneath. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let me look at your lips. They do look a little bit dry. Yeah, so comparing that to your face, there's a huge difference, okay? So you can see you've got some cracks down on your lips, okay? That's because they are dry. So we need to get some moisture back into your lips. Use a good lip balm or a petroleum jelly or something like that to really get the moisture back in, and so it locks it in. Alright. Okay, but also make sure we are exfoliating our lips. That will remove any build-up of dead skin. Okay. So your upper lip is obviously oily, but you don't have anything else going on there, which is perfect. Alright, so let's move on to your nose. You have an oily nose, and it looks very shiny and quite smooth. You don't have a rough texture. You don't have any enlarged pores, but you do have some blackheads, my lovely. Alright, just dotted around here. Okay. Yeah. Nothing too much. No breakouts or anything like that, nothing under the surface. Okay, between your brows, nothing underneath. Nothing there. Okay, let's check your forehead. Obviously you have the oily texture. Now, it's quite slippy to touch. You don't have any active breakouts, you don't have any enlarged pores or blackheads, but under the surface I can feel some blemishes. Alright, as I said, they may not come out, but they may do. And your forehead is actually dehydrated. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, it's not, but it is. And I think that's what's making the oil worse on your forehead, because here is a lot oilier than other places. So what happens is, when we are dehydrated, sometimes our sebaceous glands overact to try and compensate, thinking we need to help you, but that makes you look oily and gives you that oily shine. But you do have oily skin, so it's just adding to it and it's making it look worse. So it's constantly overactive. Yeah, okay. Because when I still squeeze, you're getting the lines like a bar of soap. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. There's no fine lines or wrinkles on your forehead, my lovely, okay? Those little lines that you see, especially when I'm squeezing, they are what we call dehydration lines, okay? Now, if you can just raise your brows for me. So here and here, obviously, when you are making an expression, there is going to be a slight line. And if you just frown for me, and obviously here and here, you're going to get certain lines because that's what happens when we frown, but they're not excessively, my lovely, they're very minimal, okay? So I look at you and I can't see any fine lines or wrinkles. When you make an expression, I can see some expression lines, but only in certain places. Now, the oiliness has actually kept your skin quite youthful, all right, because it's moisturizing continuously, but it's not really helping the dehydration, and your skin's not balanced, and we need to balance it out. Yeah, so it's doing the right things, but for the wrong reasons, if you know what I mean. So we need to kind of get all this balanced. Yeah, so we need to obviously get the hydration back in, and then we need to calm the oil down and maybe get that balance so it knows what it's doing. All right. Let's move down onto your cheek area. No crow's feet, my lovely. There's nothing there. Maybe a little line slightly, but that's more on your eyelid. Okay. Yeah, so we are very oily on your cheeks. Yeah, here and there. Okay. Now around your hairline it actually isn't oily. Here anyway. I will check the forehead in a moment. So your hairline there isn't oily. Let's just check here. Yeah, your hairline isn't oily at all. Okay, so it's beyond that. Okay. A little bit of dehydration on your cheeks. Okay. Not as much as your forehead, but there is some there. Okay. No enlarged pores or blackheads or breakouts. Okay. There's no reddening of the skin either. Okay. No crow's feet, no lines or anything. Let me just have a look under your eye. So you have a slight slippery feel under your eye. Just close your eyes for me. And same on your eyelid. Okay, open. Yeah, so it's a little bit slippy here and on top, which is quite common anyway. And with yourself it is a little bit slippy too, but that's actually kind of helping you with your under eyes to stay more youthful. All right, it's quite nice and slippy, so it's not dry, it's not dehydrated, so it's not getting lines and fine lines. And yeah, so if your eyes were really, like, say, dry or dehydrated, or even just normal, the chance you could be getting like fine lines appear and things. Okay, but you're not, so it's actually quite nice. It's helped you in that way. which, you know, having a little bit of slip around the eye area is fine, but when it's starting to go beyond that, it's uncontrollable. And then if you're wearing makeup, it's coming off, or oil's coming through. Yeah, and you're constantly feeling wet or like sweaty, and that's not pleasant. Yeah. Okay. And like I say, only slightly dehydrated, but your under eye, I mean, you don't really have any dark circles either, my lovely. I mean, it's actually very nice and quite nice colour. It kind of blends very well with your skin tone. Yeah, which is what we want, really. There's no real shadowing, and there's not really any hollowing. It's actually quite nice, which is why you're not really having that dark circle effect. And it's not puffy either. Yeah, it's quite nice. Okay. Okay, so you do have a little bit of dehydration this side as well, and if I'm honest, that side is basically that side. It's pretty even. Yeah, it's very even. Slight dehydration, no redness at all, no breakouts, nothing under the surface, and we don't have any enlarged pores or blackheads there as well. Okay, so that's nice. Let me just look into your eye. Close your eyes. Okay, you can open. Yes, it's definitely the same as that side, and again, nice texture, blends well with your skin tone. No hollowing or anything like that, so that's really good. I can't see any pigmentation, any freckles, any abnormalities on the skin, nothing like that. It all looks quite nice. There's no signs of aging, and you do appear quite youthful. You've got a good bounce, good elasticity, and good collagen production. Alright, that's working amazingly. As I said, you do have some dehydration in places, but that's not causing your oiliness. Your oiliness is from overproduction. Alright, so sometimes if we get a bit of oiliness, it's because we're dehydrated. It's contributing to the oiliness, but it's not the main cause. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to put my light. Yeah, I can see those blackheads more clearly now. Yeah, I can't see anything there. Okay, so that looks fine. Okay. Right. Just going to press on your forehead. just dump all that off. That's it. Right, so I'm going to leave that. I can't see any redness or any sensitized reaction or anything like that. Your skin is actually quite youthful and it's quite bright. It's not dull, which is good, but it's just this oiliness that we need to get under control. Alright, and we will have to change our skincare as we go through. Alright, and then when our skin balances itself out, we need to make sure that we're not popping the same products on. Alright, we need to try and keep it balanced. It might be worth getting your hormones checked out just to see, because it could be influencing it. Alright, yeah, it might be, but by looking at you, I think it might be more of a barrier issue. Yeah. How long have you had this oiliness for? Do you know what happened around then to make it happen, or is it just you can't really think? Okay. Right. Okay, I'm just going to wait and see how quickly that comes back. Okay. Right, I'm just going to a little bit more of a look. Do you ever get puffiness? Yeah, because they look nice. I'm just going to pull down your eye a sec. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks fine as well. I think that. Okay. A really good bounce. You don't have any saggy skin. And then your muscle structure is actually really good as well, my lovely. You don't have any hollowing in, you haven't got any loss of muscle, nothing like that. It's all nice and firm and in place as it should be. Alright, which is great. Yeah, okay, I can see that's looking a little bit shimmery, so that's quite quick. Are you finding that's happening a lot? You wipe your face and it's back? Yeah. Okay, so let me do this one. Just gonna rub some in the cheek. Right. Okay, right, what I'm going to do is actually wipe your face, okay? I'm just going to wipe and dab it all off a little bit. That's the best bet. Okay. Okay, so that looks pretty normal now. Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay. Right. Okay, so now I can actually feel your skin, okay? Still a nice bounce. Okay. That feels good. Yeah, so you see the bit of dehydration there. You can see that. No reddening whilst I'm touching. You know, all looks nice and even, good coloration. Okay. I'm going to write some notes. Okay. And whilst I do that, you can see what happens to your skin. Okay. Do you feel it coming on? I know that sounds silly, but I know, like when you say you'll go to sweat, you can feel it. With the oiliness, can you feel it kind of happening, or is it just you notice it when it's there? I can't see any scarring or anything abnormal on your skin at all, no lesions or anything, okay? Yeah, so I can sort of see a bit of shimmery shine in some areas now. Yeah, I'm guessing if we was to sit here, say for half an hour, it would be back to where it was. Okay. Okay. That is definitely from overproduction, definitely not from dehydration. Maybe as the day goes on and it gets worse, then it could be contributing to it, but yeah, it's definitely not. Because it wouldn't start to come back so quick. Okay. All right. Alright, okay, so what we can do, yes, okay, right. Okay. Your skin needs to stay calm, hydrated and supported. Alright, we need to be using a gentle cleanser, lightweight moisturiser, and we need to work on barrier repair rather than stripping the oil. What I think it's best if we start you on a low strength niacinamide. Okay, yeah, so that will help regulate sebum and it will help reduce any pores. Even though your pores are okay, it will help reduce them and, you know, stop pumping out extra oil. Alright, now once a week I would like you to use a clay based treatment, okay, so something like a clay mask or something like that. That will really help draw all the impurities out. Okay, things that I want you to avoid, alright, is daily exfoliation. I just want you to do it once a week. I want you to do that, then the clay mask, okay? I don't want you to be using any alcohol heavy products. Alright, that's a big no-no. You're going to make it worse, okay? Don't skip any moisturiser. You may be thinking, I don't want to add anything else on, but you need to be using one. That's important, okay? You don't want to use multiple actives, so if you're using anything like hyaluronic acid or, you know, peptides and ceramides and different things like that, we want to strip it back a bit more simple, but, you know, effective, if that makes sense. And we definitely don't want to be using anything harsh, no harsh toners, no harsh cleansers or anything like that. A milky toner will actually be really good for you, a nice refreshing milky toner. That would be nice, pat it on into the skin. Yeah, and you could be using something like a CeraVe product. They're quite hydrating, and you can get ones that are help smooth the skin out, and also for like oily skin, okay, like blemish control. All right. Okay, but I think we need to do some niacinamide, maybe some zinc in there as well. Okay. So CeraVe have an oil control moisturising gel cream, alright, and I think that will be a good one for you to start with. Okay. We also need to be using an oil control SPF, okay. And you can get a mattifying moisturiser as well. And it's giving you hydration without oiliness. Okay, what I will do, my love, is I will write my findings up and I will send over a treatment plan, what your routine should look like daily and what products I recommend that you're using and how to use them and when to use them. Alright, yeah, I think that's best. And if we can do this for 8 weeks and then you can come back and I see if you've had an improvement. Yeah, and then if not, we need to look down the route of something else to help. But I think the first step is to strip it back, try to really help repair your barrier, hydrate your skin, and keep a simple routine. And use, you know, something clay-based to draw it all out. And then, you know, make sure you are doing your steps and cleaning thoroughly as well. It's important. Really good double cleanse. And obviously you're exfoliated before you mask. Alright, a milky toner will be great, and then just pop on your moisturiser. And yes, you can use an eye cream, my lovely. I would recommend that you keep doing that. That obviously isn't really a problem area, so feel free to continue to do that. All right, and then add in your niacinamide before the moisturiser. So what we want to do, on the day that we are using a mask and exfoliating, your routine should look like this: double cleanse, exfoliate, mask, milky toner, niacinamide, eye cream, moisturiser. Then when you're not using the exfoliator and mask, it's exactly the same minus the mask and exfoliator. Does that make sense? Good. Try this for 8 weeks. I would recommend that you go in and have your hormones checked, all right, because that can hinder and cause us to have oily skin. So we need to check all your hormones out. I will put this in my letter to your doctor. See if there's anything there going on, things that we can control. All right, keep yourself nice balanced diet and make sure you are drinking plenty of water, my lovely. All right, we'll give this a go and we'll take it from there. Do you have any questions? All right, well, it's lovely to meet you, and I'm sorry that you're struggling at the moment, but we will get there. Okay, you're very welcome. You take care now. Bye-bye.